God uses laymen. God can use the skills you already have to minister on the mission field.
These words spoken by missionary Steve Ullum burned on my mind. At first I said, "Who, me? Get involved?" But the more I thought about it, the more I began to catch a vision. God wanted to use my skills in Africa. Soon after this, I was on my way to Zambia as a Wesleyan Gospel Corps volunteer. There, God used my skills in maintaining mission equipment and constructing churches. He also had a special surprise in store, for it was in Zambia that I met Vickie, who is a great blessing to me and who shares my call to missions. After our marriage, we began looking for a place of ministry together. God directed us to Sierra Leone and Kamakwi Wesleyan Hospital.
Wesleyan World Missions has been in Sierra Leone for 100 years now. It is a country about the size of West Virginia, with a population of 4 million. In spite of severe poverty and soaring inflation, exciting things are happening. With over 100 churches, and 233 preaching points, the Wesleyan Church of Sierra Leone has set a goal of planting 75 new churches by the year 2000. Because of the shortage of trained national pastors, laymen are taking large responsibilities in all of the churches in Sierra Leone. National laymen have a great vision for church growth.
Kamakwi is in the center of the Northern District. For years it has been the hub of much of the outreach. It is here that Kamakwi Hospital is located, where 103,000 patients are treated annually. People come from as far away as Freetown, 175 miles south, and even from neighboring countries, because they know they will receive quality care with compassion. In September 1986, Vickie and I and our 1-year-old son Joshua arrived at this bustling hospital compound.
My main responsibilities were as a wife and mom. I also assisted the doctors in the clinic on a part-time basis. Mike's abilities in maintenance and building have been vital to keeping this busy medical complex running smoothly.
Generating our own electricity and pumping our own water means there were large pieces of equipment to be maintained. Vehicles also needed frequent repair. Major renovations were done on the houses and in the clinic and in the pharmacy. Even though I am a layman, God gave me a vision to be involved in church planting. We set a goal of planting one village church each term. Soon after our arrival, I was asked to provide transportation by Honda to the village of Kitiri, 3.5 miles away. Members of the village had come to our local pastor asking for a church to be established in their town. The seeds of the gospel had been sown in Kitiri for many years. Even though a church had never taken root, a few converts remained. They had been faithfully walking the 3 miles to church in Kamakwi. They longed to see a church in their own village. On my first visit to Kitiri, I was surprised to learn that I was expected to preach. Here was an open door for ministry for us. A.K. Momo, a teacher from Kamakwi, was assigned as the interpreter and leader. We began to develop a friendship with him, discipling him and praying for him. As he interpreted the messages, the Holy Spirit was speaking to him, and he began to see his own need to walk closer to the Lord. Radical changes took place in his life. As A.K. matured and people in Kitiri grew in the Lord, more and more converts were brought into the fellowship. The principles of tithing were taught and put into practice. The church was coming alive. Even though I was preaching, we knew that it needed to be their church, not ours. So when they asked for a church building, we encouraged them to do their part, then trust God for the rest. Offerings were collected for the building fund. and work days were established to make blocks and to saw boards. Within 9 months after the church was organized, through a lot of work and sacrificial giving, the new building was completed. Today, Kateri has an average attendance of 130 and is still growing. Laymen visit 3 neighboring villages where services are held. One of these villages is almost ready to receive full church status.
Laymen reaching out to laymen with the gospel of Jesus Christ has been the key factor in this church growth. This pattern of growth is typical of what is happening all over Sierra Leone. Kateri was just one of 5 churches planted in the Northern District in 1987. The Western District doubled their churches from 5 to 10. Statistics from the other 3 districts also reflect this same pattern of rapid growth.
As we look to the future, we're excited about the new places of ministry God has for us. We as laymen want to be involved in the building of God's kingdom. What about you? You can be involved too. You can get involved through prayer. Pray for more trained pastors, more committed laymen who will work in the church, and more people to be brought to Christ.
Everyone can be involved in giving. Missionaries need your financial support now more than ever before.
Many of you have skills that can be used on the mission field. God may be calling you to full-time service. Wesleyan Gospel Corps and work teams also allow you the personal opportunity to get involved. Who, me? Get involved?
Yes, you.